Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Friday, March 5th. I hope you're doing well. Very quick video today. Big news. First of all, the new PPP rules have come out. It's this document right here. I'm going to talk about what that means for you, especially if you're still waiting. Second, I'm going to talk about our survey data here. This is really interesting to see yesterday. Almost 2,000 of you have said whether you're still waiting for the SBA invite, whether you got it, and whether you got the funding. I'm going to talk about that. And if you're not in a targeted area, or if you never even applied for an EIDL grant, what can you expect? Some great comments in the video yesterday. I'm going to address a few of them. The stock market continues to go down, especially many tech stocks. And of course, the big stimulus news. This is live on the Senate floor. There was a lot of drama last night, including reading the entire bill. I'll get into all that. There's a lot to cover today, so please watch until the end. We are giving away $1,000 on Monday, $100 to 10 folks. We're doing this every Monday. We announced the 10 winners earlier this week. For every new subscriber, we're going to donate $1. So for 100 subscribers, we're going to give away another $100 grant, etc., etc. So hit subscribe. Even if you don't win, you're helping others win. And share this video. Again, every subscriber, we're going to continue to donate $1. As you may know, for 8 months now, we've been donating our YouTube revenue to subscribers of this channel and users of our app. That's Hello Skip on the App Store, and it's free. Hit subscribe and turn on the alerts so you don't miss out when we announce who wins money, especially because of this news right here. $40 billion is out there. $40 billion was announced on December 27th to give out to EIDL grants. All of you are still waiting, and I'd venture to guess the majority of you are incredibly frustrated. According to our poll, 49% of you are still waiting for an email, 47% of you have gotten an email, 4% of you have said that you've gotten some money. However, based on what we know and the comments as well that have validated this, you probably misunderstood the survey. We've called the SBA, and several of you have as well. A few comments here. Per the SBA, nobody has gotten the targeted EIDL yet. The people who clicked on 3 are confused. 3% of people are lying. 3 different SBA reps told me no funding has been distributed yet. That's in line with what we see as well. So basically everyone's still waiting. So 2 main points there I want to make. Number 1, a lot of this holdup is because of the 4506T tax authorization. The SBA has to go to the IRS and say, hey, here's Joe's tax authorization. Can you let me take a look at his taxes? And that's a very manual process. I doubt they built any software to help streamline that. They had about 9 months since the last go around to figure this out, but they didn't. So that's one of the big holdups. So many of you got the application around a month ago, filled out the tax authorization around 2 weeks ago, and you're still waiting. Anyway, it's got to start coming out any day now, perhaps next week. I'll keep you posted there. The second thing I want to point out is that Isabel Guzman is still not confirmed. She was approved in the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee back on February 24th, but she is still waiting for her full Senate confirmation. What does that mean? It means there's an interim SBA director. It's not Jovita Carranza anymore, but there's an interim director. We are very hopeful that Isabel Guzman, to the extent that she can change rules based on the legislation and the law, will do that, and she will be more favorable to small businesses. A lot of you watching this video who aren't getting the emails, who didn't apply for an EIDL grant last year but want to, I'm hopeful that she's going to make some changes and that it's going to be helpful. She's going to speed things up. It might be naive of me to think that, but based on her track record and working in California, I do think she's going to be doing more work. The problem is she's not in charge yet. As soon as she gets in charge, which I hope will be soon, you know, this is the Senate as we speak right now. They're focused on the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. So perhaps if they agree today, and again, there's going to be a lot of debate. Even Senator Johnson last night made the clerks in the Senate read out the entire 500-page $1.9 trillion bill. I mean, talk about a waste of time. Senator Schumer saw this as a positive. Look, it's another chance to tell the American people what's in the stimulus package. $1,400 stimulus checks, funding for education, governments, vaccine distribution, healthcare, more targeted EIDL grant funding, $15 billion, etc., etc. So despite those antics in the Senate, they're going to debate today. Maybe there will be a vote today. Now, there was another change today. I mentioned 2 days ago that Senate Democrats changed the income limit for stimulus checks. $80,000 per individual is now the hard cap. If you earn above that, you'll get nothing in the third stimulus check. or 160K as a household, you get nothing. There was another change today. Here it is. The Senate Democrats plan to drop their effort to increase a federal unemployment payment from $300 a week to $400. So that was a push they were making to try to get $400 per week as an additional unemployment amount. It looks like they are conceding here to stick with $300. However, they will do this for a longer period of time, extending this through the end of August. So if you're on unemployment, this is important for you. Again, a little bit less per week, but supposedly they will extend the timeline here. So anyway, the hope is Isabel Guzman will get in charge soon. The targeted EIDL grant system will be streamlined. Checks will begin to go out. And those of you who haven't gotten an email yet or haven't even applied yet will have some opportunity to get involved and to get grants that will help you, that will help your small business. You know, many of you have left interesting comments about based on where you live, you're cut out. Someone mentioned yesterday they live in a mobile home surrounded by $1 million homes, so therefore you don't qualify. Again, that's part of my criticism of that low-income provision, right? Just because you live on the wrong side of the street means you're cut out, but is that fair? Most of you would say no. Finally, before I talk about the new PPP rules, which are out today, a quick look at the stocks. They continue to drop today. They've dropped all week. NASDAQ declines more than 2%, while the S&P 500 is on track for its third week of declines. Tesla is below $600 a share. Many of you are hot on Tesla. It's taken a huge hit. It's wiped out all of its gains in 2021. So if you've put any money in tech stocks this year, chances are you are down because of the dip this week. But there's some hope, of course, with the new stimulus package and the positive unemployment signal that things will get better, the market will improve. I think one of the problems is that there are a lot of options now. Besides tech stocks, there's also the bonds. The bond yields are competitive. There are other conservative stocks that are giving good returns. So many folks are thinking, well, let's be a bit more conservative. We don't need the high growth of Tesla or other tech stocks. We can be a bit more conservative. We'll see how long that lasts. Here's the PPP news. Finally, a great question in the comments was, look, is the SBA going to change this 2-week priority window? So last Wednesday, they started a 2-week priority. This was a memo from the White House saying, for 2 weeks, SBA will only take small businesses, less than 20 employees, and give those folks priority for PPP loans. There were a few other things they did in there as well, such as allow folks to get the gross amount instead of the net amount. And a lot of lenders were waiting on those rule changes, especially Bluevine and Funding Circle. You know, those are our 2 partner lenders. Links in the description if you want to apply. But those folks hadn't updated their forms. Why? Because they were waiting for the guidance from the SBA. So if you had a lender that said, oh yeah, we're taking gross amount, we're ready to do it, here's how to do it, chances are they were kind of doing that on the side because they didn't have the final rules. Again, these programs are highly administered by the SBA. The SBA may issue a press release, then follow up with specific rules for the lenders. They finally did that. I don't know if they're going to extend this priority window because, look, we're already 10 days in and they're finally getting around to this. This actually came out a day ago. The interim final rule implements changes related to loans made under the PPP. This interim final rule allows individuals who file an IRS Form 1040 Schedule C to calculate their maximum loan amount using gross income, removes the eligibility restriction that prevents businesses with owners who have non-financial fraud felony convictions in the last year from obtaining PPP loans, and removes the eligibility restriction that prevents businesses with owners who are delinquent or in default on their federal student loans from obtaining PPP loans. So those are 3 eligibility changes. Now, what does gross income mean? Here it is. The statutory definition of payroll costs applicable to sole proprietors and independent contractors refers to a wage, commission, income, net earnings from self-employment or similar compensation, and that is in an amount that is not more than $100,000, so that's still the cap for everyone, $100K per year on an annualized basis. Previously, PPP rules defined payroll costs for individuals who filed the Schedule C based on net earnings. SBA is aware of significant concerns with this definition because it does not take into account fixed and other business expenses. So this is interesting to hear the rationale for this change. Fixed and other business expenses that a small business must cover to stay in operation and therefore keep the owner employed. Here it is. The support for employment for sole proprietors includes covering business expenses as well as net profits. This change would affect many sole proprietors who have been effectively excluded from the PPP. I've said this so many times on this channel, especially those with very little or negative net profit budget, many of who are located in underserved communities. They looked into this. Based on the statutory language of the CARES Act, SBA, in consultation with the Treasury, has determined that SBA has discretion to establish an alternative calculation methodology for payroll costs for sole proprietors and independent contractors. So similar to how they've interpreted this, I'm hopeful they will issue some similar guidance for the EIDL grants. Again, I think it's very possible. I'm not just saying this, given the amount of money in the EIDL pot. But let's stay focused on the PPP. Defining income to include gross income is consistent with Congress's intent that the PPP provide broad relief to small businesses and keep individuals employed, and that the PPP prioritize loans to, among others, small business concerns and entities in underserved markets, and small business concerns owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals and women. So in a similar vein for the EIDL grants, they may see that the intent of these bills is to help lower income folks. So that could be one way of reinterpreting the legislation to say it's not just low income based on your address, it's low income based on your income. Again, we'll see. Again, we'll let the lawyers work on this. This is just for illustrational purposes. We'll actually see what happens. I'm going to put a post to this on our app, by the way, Hello Skip in the App Store. You'll get to see this if you want to read what's in the language, especially if you're working with a lender who doesn't know what to do yet. You can take a few minutes to read this yourself if you want, so you know what you are allowed to do, what you are allowed to ask from your lender. I hope that helps. That's the quick Friday news. I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching until the end. And of course, subscribe. Every subscriber, we're donating $1 to our Monday giveaway. So if we get 500 new subscribers, that's $500 we're giving away on Monday to subscribers of this channel and folks who've downloaded our free app. Hit subscribe, share with a friend. Let's get it going while we wait for things to happen like Isabel Guzman's confirmation, EIDL grants, PPP changes, $1.9 trillion stimulus package. There's a lot happening. I'll keep you posted on all that. Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.